whatever I want to do. Like that's not my pace anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like my pace is much slower, but I'm getting to the goal faster because I truly trust him.
Wow, that's a
and
bar.
not me.
Say that again.
It's like, we can keep the knowledge to ourselves. And I mean, I know people like that. Like, I'm just, I'm stingy
Yeah.
when it comes to the knowledge.
Yeah, I used to be like that. I feel
exactly.
like I used to be like, I don't really
For
want to tell you what
sure.
I'm doing.
But then it's like, but why though?
yeah. I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby. Everything about you. What's up, everybody? We're back. It's your boy, Stephen Motivate. Back once again. We've got a special guest for you today. But before we get into that, I want to shout out my co-host, Steve James. What's up, Steve?
What's poppin', man? We hold on, let me get my mic together. What's good? What's good?
Man, excited to be around like-minded people. That's something we always said we wanted to have, and what Wealthy Thoughts was about was getting like-minded people in the same rooms together to just learn and share from each other.
For sure. This is I'm excited about this one, man. We got a lot of mutual friends in common, and just excited to present the world to him.
Absolutely. So without further ado, look, Wealthy Thoughts audience, we want to welcome our guest today, purpose coach JimDre is with us today. What's up, Dre?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Good, brother.
Doing good, man.
Appreciate your time, man.
Oh, thanks for the invite, man. I really appreciate just kicking it with y'all, learning more about, what y'all doing with the podcast. So definitely thank you.
Appreciate that.
Likewise. So tell us, what does it mean? Purpose coach. Tell us what that means for our audience out there.
Yeah, purpose coach is like a life coach. I'm all about helping people unlock their purpose. I feel that everybody has a purpose here on earth, but a lot of folks don't already know it's inside them. So it's not me just trying to sell them and, tell them, something they just want to hear. I really want them to dig deep and let them know that, hey, God already put you on game. He already gave you something that nobody else can. So let's unlock that thing and really see what you're all about so you can become the best person.
Absolutely. So why do you think, well, before I get into that, how did you get to this point of helping people with their purpose? Because I know, like, not only do people struggle a lot with if they want to start a business or if they want to do something entrepreneurially, and sometimes it's almost like, it's bigger than that, right? It's like, what am I supposed to be doing in general? And they can't really find their way. So I get that, but how did you come to this point of where I want to help people figure this out?
Yeah, no doubt. My parents are college professors, retired college professors. So education has always been in my heart, literally in my blood. So for me, it was like I got help. Like I had it, fortunately, at home. Both of my parents, they're at home, still together.
Nice.
So for me, it was like I know everybody doesn't have that background. Everybody doesn't have that start. So once I found out kind of what I'm supposed to do through trial and error, like I had them at the crib, but I still didn't get everything right away.
Gotcha.
So once I was able to kind of journey through and see that, everything that I thought I wanted, I really didn't want, and it really wasn't good for me. But everything that I'm on now has always been there. So I kind of want to help and coach people to say, what's already inside you, that's the special thing. Like, yeah, I get, culture and all that popular stuff. That's cool. But you have something special inside you, and you have to not be afraid of actually getting to know who you are. Don't, trip off of what everybody else is telling you. Like, who are you? And if you are scared, do it afraid. Like you have to look yourself in the mirror, ask some hard, tough questions, and get to be familiar with being uncomfortable. And then that's kind of how I just, got there.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's super dope, because that's everything we are about.
Yeah.
Like uncomfortability, doing it afraid, getting started. So glad to see somebody else in this space helping solve the issue, right? Because it's like so many of us do struggle with that. And we know you're a serial entrepreneur too, so tell us some about your entrepreneurial journeys, experiences, etc.
Well, I have a clothing line called Live at Your Own Pace Clothing.
Nice.
It's all about you doing your own thing at your own speed. Shout out to Layup. I'm rocking it right now. Our trademark logo is the turtle, so it's kind of a little play off the tortoise in the hare story.
Okay.
We really want people to know, like, as long as you are doing what you want to do, that's what living at your own pace is all about. It's not about, if you're going fast or slow. If you're doing fast life, do you. Like, that is living at your own pace. So we truly want to encourage people that your pace, that's going to be the thing that separates you from everybody else. You just have to be comfortable being in your own lane. So that's one of the things I've been able to do with my business partner, Andre Thomas. We started this. He actually started this on the campus of the University of Michigan.
Nice.
Go Blue. That's where we graduate. I know we got Big Ten love though.
Big Ten love, yeah.
Like West Lala. I've been there. It's a cool spot.
Boiler up.
You guys are cool. But so yeah, that's where it started. And I actually was the first intern. So once I got on the yard, I wanted my own line, but I didn't really see, I guess, a future just yet. But once Dre was like, hey, this is what it's about, I'm like, I'm a big dreamer. So I said, yo, bro, this is more than just, slanging, on the corner at the parties and things of that nature. Like, you have a brand. Like, everybody needs to know this. Like, living at your own pace can literally take over the world.
Yeah.
I know that sound corny, but like, it can. Like,
Right.
if you can get people to believe that, you got them. And essentially 20 years later, we're still here. So that's one of the things I do. I'm also an author. I've written 3 books. And now a podcaster. I'm married now, so my wife kind of wants to jump into that lane. So
Nice.
Coming soon, you'll hear about Risky Love podcast, where
Nice.
we talk about the dating reality shows and the people on them who are ready to risk it.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. No, that's clap.
Clap it up. We got to get the sound effects.
Number one, to be able to have a brand that long, and to have that vision. So, how long ago did you come out of college?
06. So
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a minute for me. Dre graduated in 2001 and started it in 1999.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yeah, the like you said, the branding aspect of it. Because we talk about branding a lot. Because that's important.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, what tips would you give? I like what you said. You have to tell somebody about your brand for them to know about it. So what has been your, as far as the personal coach side, like what's been your, your way of, number one, gaining clients? Like how do you go about that? Do you just have a conversation and it leads into,
For the most part, I let them see me. Like, I'm a person. I'm human. I make mistakes. I don't know it all. So I think for me and my brand, I just think it's very important for them to see who I really am. Like, I can't put on the front and say I'm, Anthony O'Neal, for instance. Like, I'm not him. He's dope, but like me trying to be him or me trying to be Tim Ross or Darius Daniel, those brothers are amazing, but like, I'm not going to get the people that are supposed to be in my life if I'm trying to front and be somebody else. So I think for me, it's being more comfortable in my own skin, living at my own pace, getting to know who I am, and then that comes out to the people who are for me, the people who are supposed to be blessed by my messaging and things of that nature. Because I'm not going to get everybody.
Right.
And that's something, too, that I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I think coming in the game, you want everybody. Everybody can get it. But I know that I'm, assigned to certain people. So the more and more I know about myself, the more and more I know about, my purpose, I think it's been beneficial on getting those clients because they can see that, this brother is speaking to me. Like, this brother is hitting something that, I may not know, but he may be able to actually help me out.
I like that.
And have you always been comfortable with that, or when did it? Give us a time when you weren't, because it's been How long have you been doing the personal coaching now, or the purpose coaching?
I'd say probably about 3 or 4 years, like professionally.
Yeah.
Like I've always been the friend where people come holler at me
And want to talk to you?
and want to talk to me. But professionally for about 3 or 4 years.
So talk about that. So you've already had this in you, like you said earlier. But what was the difference 3 years ago, where it's like, I'm going to stamp this, put my name on it, put my name behind it, and what was that like for you? And why did it, I don't want to say it in a negative way, but why did it take so long?
Yeah, I think for me, being a serial entrepreneur, like I got a lot of things going on. Like I mentioned a lot, but I still have other stuff that I didn't even tell y'all about.
Yeah.
So I think when you are that dude, at times it's tough to focus, because you're talented, right? Like, you could do this and you could do that, and you're kind of maybe spread a little too thin. So I think for me, it took a long time for me to recognize that. I thought I was, talented and smart and had all this stuff going on where I can do all these things. Like God's given it to me. So, like I'd be a fool to waste it. So I have to do it like right now.
Yeah.
But as I got older and got deeper in my faith, it's like, bro, you don't have to do it right now.
So when you say it, like what's it?
So like all the God ideas, like oh, I want to, I got the line, but let me start writing, and then oh, I like to work out, so let me start a fitness group, that this and that, and it's like all of these ideas are dope.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do them right now. Like maybe you need to shelve that, put it on the back burner, your back pocket, so then when you get some momentum, then you roll out some of this other stuff. So I think that's why it took a long time, because I was doing that. And then also I was chasing the money. Like we live in Vegas. I've been here for 16 years. I worked on the Strip for 3 years. I was a busser. So, I worked at Marquee Nightclub, Encore Beach for 2 seasons. I was a busser. So I was about getting money. And
Can you make a decent amount of money doing that?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So like we're from the Midwest. So when people say you're a busser, when you probably automatically think, oh, that's a bus boy, working at Denny's or something.
Yeah.
Like, he just cleaning tables at a bar. He might come home with some tips, right? It don't work like that here in Vegas. In Vegas, bussers, well, let me not even start with bussers. Cocktail waitresses, right? Y'all probably been to the club, popping bottles.
No, we absolutely do not go to the club.
Not now.
I'm joking. I went to the club a few weeks ago, and I might go while I'm here.
So you know what it is.
Y'all pray for me.
Right. So you go to the club, and it's, Vegas, it's no place like it. Yeah. So you go there, and the girls, whether it's at the day club or the night club, they're making your top clubs about $250 easy. Not $250, but $250,000 for the listeners. That easily,
I believe it.
Easily. So your Wet Republics, your EBCs, the places that I've worked at, that's what they're taking home. Now,
wow, that just blew my mind.
Yeah, easy.
I don't know.
250,000.
Why do you think that they come every second and pour your drink?
What you need?
Give everybody in this section a drink. So you can order another bottle. The bottle's $900.
Yeah.
$1,500.
Easy. And I bring that number up because the bussers, they don't make that much, but they make a third of that. So you do the math. And it's hard labor, but it's not hard work. Like you're just lifting things, bottles, crafts, ice, just being nice to people. So you can make a third of that just by being you. You know? So for me, that paused some things, because I was like, let me go chase this easy money, then I could flip it and, do other things with it. Yeah. But, it got me off my purpose, if you will, during that time. So I feel that once I retired from that, saw how it was changing me internally, I was like, I can't be that dude. Like,
so what was that? Because that's interesting to me. You're getting it, you're going after it, but is it at the time it's happening that you start to feel a little bit different? Or is it like, okay, 2 years in, I'm really killing it at this? Or did some big event happen and say, I got to walk away? How did you know that it was pulling you away from your ultimate purpose?
Inside. It was all in here. Because when I first got it, I figured that I don't want to do this forever. Like, I don't want to be the 40-year-old busser. Yeah. Nothing against my brothers who are still doing it. Even the cocktail waiters I know who are still getting it. get it as long as you can.
Yeah.
But for me, I knew there was more.
Yeah.
So once I got in there, I was like, let me get in the game. I'll, couple years, try to stack some paper, and then I'm out. Not thinking that it's like, dude, like you're going to be in it.
Yeah.
The lifestyle, all of that stuff, and at this time I wasn't married, but I wanted to get married. So this is probably not the best place, to find what I was looking for, so for me, I think after year 2, I was like, I don't want to do this probably more than another year. So like I had like a Kobe tour, like, hey man, this is my last year. I see what's happening. I cannot, like, I'm going to lose the game that I want to eventually end up playing. So yeah, I did it third year, my last year, and knew kind of during that things were, I was turned off, of some things like inside of me where it's like, okay, this money's cool, but at the same time, that's the only reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
And that can't be the only reason why I'm doing anything, at least for me. Like
that's a big bar though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you that's just crazy. I mean, because someone may look at your situation and say, well, how could you give up? Because we talked about this. This was, I mean, I can probably attest for both of us. This is the most money we made this year. Mm-hmm. But
Congrats.
The type of pressure that, we have been under last year, through that time was like, it's not always about the moolah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's the peace of mind that can drive you further than that dollar.
Yeah.
And you don't know that because especially when you don't come from money, it's different. It's like, all right, all I know is chase the bag.
Yep.
But it's like when you get the bag, it's like, so what did this do for me? You know what I mean? It just added more problems. It added more pressure.
Yep.
And so how long you been
Bag
married?
is heavy.
I've been married 1.5 years now.
Okay, so you fresh.
Yeah, we still a little fresh.
So how do you so fresh. So it's kind of hard.
But it's been a very interesting year and a half.
Because I was gonna ask how. So wait, you've been done with the club for how long?
Now it's been 6-7 years.
Oh, okay, so you're out of that. Got you. Okay, but as far as your other entrepreneurial things, how are you juggling? Because you don't have any kids.
No kids.
No kids.
We're on the way. We're trying to family plan now.
Got you. So how are you juggling? Yeah. So you got. I was going to ask you how you juggle. You have you can juggle.
Yeah.
We got little ones that's running around. So it's
But you felt like you couldn't juggle until you really feel like, oh, now I really can't juggle.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like,
I mean, I think
because you don't know you don't know that they're going to be that demanding.
Yeah. You don't know. So I was going to ask you,
I
as
love my
far as
girls.
like you and your wife, how have you like navigated with all the things that you go like? Do you find it pressure with doing your serial entrepreneurial thing and then still trying to have time for wifey? Like what's that journey been like?
Yeah, no, it's been an interesting one because when you're single, you can do whatever.
Yeah.
So like I remember a time when, because we did long distance for a minute. So she was back home in Michigan, I was here in Vegas. And I mean, you guys probably remember during the pandemic, everybody was on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
So like, I'd be on Clubhouse all day, all night, and not in the crazy rooms. Like I have a ministry on Clubhouse called God Ideas. Like we got over 75,000 folks,
Wow.
worldwide. So I was doing the Lord's work, and
Congrats,
I could go appreciate that, like 3-4 hour rooms and all that. Married, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it. And
Right.
thankfully, I have people in there who can kind of be in those rooms and, do stuff without me. But I say that to say there's so much that I want to do, but I can't do everything. Like I just can't, because that's the number one ministry now.
Right.
So we've had talks. I've had to not do some things, like
That compromise.
Yeah, we definitely had to communicate. That compromise came into play, and to say, like, what do we really want? So she doesn't need all my time, but she does need my time. So she's had to communicate to say, hey, babe, you need to, this is what I want, and because I want that and you want that too, maybe, for the Clubhouse thing, I used to get up. I'm an early riser. She is a very light sleeper, the lightest sleeper on earth. But I like to get up naturally. So we're talking like 4:30 in the morning, which is early. I get that.
Yeah.
But for her, she doesn't want to wake up till like 6. So a lot of the times I'd be like, well, I used to do this every morning. So now I only do it twice a week, you know? So little stuff like that, that I have to understand that we're one.
Right.
And I can't just move and do stuff that I want to do. So it's been an interesting compromise, but I think it's actually helped.
Yeah.
Because I'm fresh, you know, like I can sustain all those things, and I'm not so, well, I gotta do this, or they're depending on me. Like I've been able to delegate things, which has made more time for myself and for her.
So talk that on our last one, we talked about that. Just this team. Talk about that aspect of your business. Do you have, because you said you delegate, like you have the people that's in the clubhouse. So you give them that particular job to control the room?
Yes.
And okay.
Yep. And they got the power. Like, we've been blessed to have people literally all over the world to help us.
That's good.
Shout out to my girl, Jasiri. She's our GM. I call her our general manager in Cali, where, you know, she's been able to delegate even her tasks to say, hey, we have admins in every room, lead moderators. You know, we're now starting a podcast and different type of stuff. So it's not all on me, and it's not all on her, and we're really working together as a team. But it took a minute to get there, where, like, you know, my wife, her name's Tiffany. Tiff was just like, she didn't understand that part of it because she's in it, but really not
in
it. Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like a first lady role, if you will, where I'm like, babe, I'm laying down the foundation so I can step back.
You're the coach.
You know, it's like, I have to do this. Once I'm done, then I can go back and we can do, you know, what we want to do.
Right,
Nice.
right. Yeah, my situation is kind of similar, whereas my girl is not fully in on my businesses. Not like that. She knows about them. But even like with the cars, we got a bunch of cars on Turo. But like, she'll be upset if somebody messes up one of the cars, or, you know, doesn't fill it up with gas. She's like, why would they not fill it up with gas? And so I'm like, babe, this is part of it, you know? And so I try to keep a little bit distance there, and it helps me because then I can go to a place with my wife where it's more like a rest.
Yep.
And it ain't like I'm back at work with her and we talking about every deal and everything. So that's good. So back into the history. So you doing this, you coming through, and you say, hey, this is pulling me away. I want these other things in my life. And that kind of, so what made you prioritize? Because I know you start talking about your faith a little bit. And I know, like, part of what you help people with is finding that purpose in God, right? Or through God. So how did you start to prioritize that, like this spiritual aspect, this God aspect to the whole journey? And, like, tell us about that.
Yeah, I think for me at that time, you know, it was like early 30s. I'm 39 now. So my thing was like, I still want to get married. You know, I know he has a higher purpose than me just being, you know, Cabana Dre, you know, like, you know, doing all this type of stuff. And
was it getting old to you?
It was getting old, you know, because, again, like, I just knew with my business, we were about to open up a store. So I was like, ooh, that could be part of, like, the retirement plan from the industry. I just started, I just launched my first book around my last season. And then I also was on Steve Harvey's show that last season too.
Nice.
I was on the Steve Harvey show for being a virgin. It was this virgin dating segment or whatnot.
Wow.
And I had this blog called Worth the Wait Guy, where I would tell people my story of waiting for sex until marriage as worth the wait guy. Like, you know, like, I'm not special. I'm just another dude that's waiting. But one of the things about waiting was, like, I'm waiting, but straight up, I'm not perfect. Like I, at that time, was like, oh yeah, I'm technically a virgin. You know, like, I did everything but that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't really know what to call that outside of being a virgin. And trust me, I know that's not a virgin.
Right.
But that was just, that's where I was at. So my thing is like, dude, if I don't want to go all the way, if I don't want to completely lose myself and know that, like, stop living the way that I am, because at that time, because I wasn't doing anything or doing what I really wanted to do, I got addicted to pornography. So it's like, dog, I'm around beautiful half naked women all the
Every day.
time,
Yeah.
every day. And I could do what I want to do with whoever I want to do it, but I'm not. So I didn't know how to tell anybody that. Like my homeboys didn't even know that. So when I quit the club, my best friend was like, why don't you just go back? I fell into some financial stuff. 2 years after that, he's like, bro, just go back. I know you can go back. I'm like, I can, but this is why I left. And he's like, dang, I didn't know that. I'm like, I didn't know how to tell anybody that because I felt ashamed. Like I wasn't ready to be that real. But once I was able to, it changed my life, because other people also have struggles. They go through some other stuff. So it's like, that's where I was. And that's another reason why, as a purpose coach, I want to talk to people because I know everybody's going through something.
Yeah.
Man, that's so powerful that you realize that. Because, a lot of people, they keep that type of thing buried inside and literally can just lead you to destruction without talking about it. So for you to be able to overcome that, I definitely commend you. To be able to wait that long, I commend you. Cause that's it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, especially being in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like I look at Vegas and this is just like I have a love-hate relationship with this place. And let me tell you why. Because you come here and it's just like everyone is just free.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're just enjoying ourselves. And it's like it's not real.
Yeah. It's digital.
You know what I mean? It's like it's this thing that it's just like once you get back on that plane, it's like, okay, you go right back to reality.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So people that have that type of struggle that are actually here, it's like you had to do what was best for you in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For your health.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, because now you're walking in your purpose. So that's crazy, man. I commend you on that, man.
So talk about from the entrepreneurial standpoint, the money struggles. So you make the decision. You don't want to go back because you somehow deep inside know it's the right decision, but money's not. The math ain't mathing, as they say. So how do you get through that piece and why? And what are you thinking about doing to get through it?
Yeah, I had to think about everything. Like I had a savings, and at that time, it was enough, or at least what I thought would be enough. I can, I'll be straight. I'll coach. I got the store. I have all these things, but again, the math wasn't mathing. Because at the store, I was an employee. I'm paying myself, but I'm not paying myself enough. To live, if you will, so then the bank, account is decreasing, I'm paying rent, I'm doing those things. I'm not doing anything to kind of supplement that stuff. So I'm still creating, but, it wasn't like I was investing or, doing something where I could make some more money. So it just got to a point where it's like, okay, what I had, which was good, like it's gone, eventually.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still, I guess, helping everybody else out. But at the same time, I wasn't forthright in saying I'm drowning, like I need some help. Like my business partners, they were still doing their other jobs, you know. I should have been doing the same, but I was like, well, I wanted to put on for the company and, help the store and essentially live inside the store.
Now, when you say store,
we had a store like a brick and mortar.
For the clothing line?
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yep. We had a store for 6.5 years.
Okay.
Downtown Container Park.
Okay.
So we were there from 2016, and we literally just closed it around Christmas.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So we had it. Probably one of the longest stores to be inside the park. It's usually 6 months is the time frame.
Yeah.
But we were there for like 6.5 years.
Wow.
And when we first started, like I was the person you saw. Like I lived in there and it was amazing. Met people literally from all over the world. but financially probably wasn't the best move for me because we're just starting to get things on the ground. And if I had a side hustle, if I, kept money elsewhere, I would have been better.
To
And
supplement the business or to supplement for yourself?
for
or both?
myself,
Okay.
because the business we were cool,
Okay, yeah.
But for myself, because I wasn't at the point where we're making salaries from the business, and
Yeah.
we
So
still
you giving a lot of free labor that's helping the business, that's really helping it boom.
Yep.
Got it.
And I was okay with that. I
Yeah.
know everybody isn't, but like I was like, dude, like I've always wanted my own clothing line since I was 16. Like I wanted to be Diddy.
So you was willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, it was like I'll put in the blood, sweat, and tears to have that sweat equity. It's okay until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yo, I might have to rethink this. Like I thought when I left the club, that was going to be the last job I ever in life. Like I'm never going to get another job. Full entrepreneur. Here we come.
Yeah.
And then, a couple years later, I was like, dang, I got to go fill them job applications out. I got to hop back on Indeed, LinkedIn, all of that stuff, which I did. And it helped me, However, that was, I don't think, I think pride got in the way a little bit. I thought that, I'll figure it out. I'll always figure it out. And I needed to lean in and let people know, again, like I'm not Superman. Like I don't have all the issues. Like I need help. And that was able to help me get up out of there when I let them in, to say, all right, bro, like I gotta go get another job. Like I can't, live in the store anymore. I can't, I gotta help myself again. Like it's cool to help others, but if I'm drowning, I can't really help you swim.
You had to be stingy and focus on yourself.
Yeah.
But that your story, that journey that you went through, I mean, I'm sure that allowed you to actually realize what your purpose was.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sure. So now that puts you in a situation where now you can tell people like, oh yeah, I've went through this. This is how you know that you have something inside of you.
Yeah.
Once you hit that breaking point.
Yep.
Now, so you moving forward, now you're doing the purpose coaching now. Is it to a point now where you're able to engage with customers, I'm saying customers, but clients in a way where, okay, here's my fee, or is it still more of a like, I'm giving it out for free sort of thing?
Got a fee,
Got a fee.
Yeah, we're there now.
All right.
Where people, can, respect the hustle, where I have, been able to go through things. I have a testimony, and it's like, this is what I do. So,
was that a leap to be able to start charging people? Because I'm so used to giving y'all this, my ear for free, and I'm listening to y'all and I'm hearing y'all stuff. Now you done been through you done, what do they call it? Put it one on for the team. You done held it down for the company and did all these things. But as you started to put yourself first and say, look, I deserve some payback here too, was it still hard to charge that first person?
A little bit. I think, I think the hardest part is probably figuring out what to charge.
What the price is. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I know I need some bread, but I guess how do I do this? Research and kind of find what's out there, what are the going rates, and then it's like, well, I could charge almost anything. It's my, it's who I am. It's my value. So I think I initially had some struggle, with that, to say, okay, are people really gonna pay me for this? But then you have to think that it's you. Like as long as there's some value, people spend money on a lot of things that may not be value to us, but if they value it and got the money, they'll pay it. So for me, it was trying to figure out where I should hang in terms of pricing, and then where are my people at? Like really trying to figure out like, well, okay, I got a price, but where are they? Instagram, is it face to face, word of mouth type of thing? I think that was also a challenge of just finding that out, so then I can get, my return.
So how has that journey been? How many people have you, not how many people, but where do you find people? How do you know, okay, you're the type of person I can help?
Yeah, social media's been probably the best thing for me. Like I have a decent following, but a lot of people see my stuff there. So it's trying to get better with videos, being consistent with videos. That's probably like been at least a struggle for me
Yeah.
of, learning how to content batch and, line that stuff up so you'll always be ready. So that's been helpful. But I also think the more and more people, when I get out in the community, and talk to people and just be myself, I get a lot of people, putting me on that way where it's like, go holler at Dre, check this dude out, man. Oh, I heard about you. So that's kind of also, been a good look for me.
What's the top things that you see in people that are struggling with their purpose?
Lack of confidence. I think a lot of people in life, for whatever reason, they're not confident. Like they can be the greatest person, greatest singer, greatest cook, what have you, but for whatever reason, they don't believe it. Even if other people tell them like, you got it, you got the juice, like you're good, for whatever reason, they don't believe it. And I think, that I see a lot of people I deal with just don't have enough confidence. They may have some, but it's like, you have to know that you are it, from the jump. And if you know that, it'll be easier, for other people to really believe that you have that thing. Yeah. And I just feel, for whatever reason, and I know life has a lot to do with it, is that people aren't confident. I think another thing would probably be that people, I think they're not confident and they don't also believe that they're special, And I think, everybody has to know that you were made for a purpose. Like you're here for a reason. So I think also trying to help people feel good that they are different and they should appreciate their differences and use that for a plus, as a plus. Like that's a bonus that you may not walk or talk like this person. Like we got to learn how to use that to your advantage and not, just say, oh, that's a disadvantage.
I like that.
How long do you think it takes a person to, once you meet them, let's say maybe they lack the confidence a bit, maybe they unsure of their purpose, how long do you think a person needs to journey within themselves or with a coach, with a professional, to say, hey, I'm starting to get it now. I'm starting to believe it, or to the point where, okay, you're solved, so to speak, where you now know you have a purpose. How long does that process typically take?
It varies. It could be a lifelong process, and I actually think it is a lifelong process. Now, I don't think you may need to work with someone for the rest of your life. However, it can happen in weeks, I think it can happen for some people probably within days, but it's a consistency thing. Like, somebody can tell you something good and maybe you have a great session, ask some questions and it's like, boom, light bulb, first session. And I'm not saying you're done, but that could happen. Like you could have honestly sit down, think about some things and say, you know what? I never thought about that. Or say something and be like, dang, that's actually what's been happening to me. That's what's up. And if you only need one session, that's cool. But I definitely think it's a progression. Like you're going to need to come back to those conversations we've had. You're going to need to be by yourself, because as a purpose coach, like I'm not going to tell you what to do. I think some coaches do, but that's just not, my flavor. That's not my flow. So I want you to really figure it out. Like I can help you unlock it, but like you have to like hold the key. Like you have to turn that. Like it won't be me. So I think as long as you're committed to that work and continuing to learn more about yourself, it can happen faster than you think. But I definitely think all of us, including myself, like it's a lifelong journey.
Well, I agree with that because I feel like as soon as we find out, it's like the next day we or the devil or, starts to talk us out of it.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I believe in myself, it's like, okay, do it. you know, it's like these moments of grandeur. Like I get in this room with y'all and I'm like, yeah, I can be a serial entrepreneur. Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I believe I have purpose. And then as soon as I get out of this room, get somewhere by myself, it's like, oh, can I really do it? Mm-hmm. And so we start to talk ourselves out of the very thing that we got help or in the right community or in the right circle, we was able to talk ourselves into.
Yep.
So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. So my question, so if you have have you found yourself allowing your beliefs to speak through people as well? Like, because what if someone is not faith-based? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? How do you like, are you telling them, are you more so preaching the gospel to them in a sense, or is it more a I don't know, spiritual?
Yeah, no, I got you. The short answer is that the gospel is throughout my message, right? So, you know, I don't necessarily, you know, view myself as like a preacher, if you will. However, I am a believer. You know, I follow Jesus Christ, and I'm upfront with that. You know, I think, you know, it's something that I've always been a believer, but I think early on, I probably wouldn't say the things that I say now. You know, like if you knew me, yeah, you already knew what Dre was on, but like I wouldn't, you know, have like on my profile as it is right now that I'm a believer, that I'm a follower. So now I think, you know, for people who come across my page and, you know, I don't know who Jesus is. I don't want to know who Jesus is. Like, but I like what you're saying, this purpose stuff. I believe there's still a connection. You know what I mean? Okay. So for me, like, I don't turn anybody away where it's like, all right, if you don't, you know, believe in him, you know, I can't rock with you. You know, like there's always a teaching moment. There's always an opportunity for you to get to know him, you know, and maybe I'm going to be the only person that you will talk to who knows Jesus, you know, who wants to follow him, who wants, you know, a relationship with him, and I want you to have one too. So I think for me, it's knowing that most of the people probably that I speaking to don't know him, you know, and don't have a relationship with God. So I always have that in mind, that maybe just something I say will get them there, you know. And if it doesn't, that's cool too, you know, that's fine. But I do, you know, have an intention that the gospel, you know, they can receive that. You know?
Yeah, I was just curious about that because I mean, I can see that being a segue to you leading them to Christ.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sure that is, you know, I mean, you're getting personal with them, you know, and then to be able to have that conversation, you might spark something in them that you know, they may want to know more. So that's good.
Yeah, I wonder how many people don't have somebody to talk to.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Like, and that's big, you know. And they don't have people to talk to for a number of reasons, you know. Like, they may be insecure. They may feel that people are going to judge them. They may feel, you know, trust issues. Like, I don't trust you, or I don't trust nobody. Like, I don't trust myself. So the things that I want to say, like, I'm not going to tell you. I don't know you. You know what I mean? So I've seen a lot of people like that, where it's like, okay, I signed up for this, you know, discovery call. I signed up for this coaching session, but like, I don't know how these things work. Like, I'm here because I think I should be here, or, you know, God, you know, I feel something in, you know, me, and I see something in you, but like I don't know what I'm supposed to share. So I think you are right, where like people just don't have someone else that they can count on, someone else that they can depend on, someone else that wants to help them. And I'm just one of those dudes. I actually want to help you. Like straight up, I don't want anything from you outside of just you. Like, I just want you to show up so we can actually get something done, so we can actually work to what you want. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, that's good, and I think it's super helpful and needed because, like we said, there's a void out there of folks who don't have anyone, and for, like you said, a number of reasons, aren't ready, aren't willing to talk, and aren't really to really be real with themselves either.
Yep.
Because I think, especially when we're younger, it's like a lot of us sabotage ourselves.
Yep.
Right? we know that it's like, it's probably not what I'm supposed to be on, but I'm about to chase this bag, or I'm about to do this or that. And I know that there's probably something more, but I just, for whatever reason, I'm not really tapping in. And it sounds like through your journey, you started to tap in. And now would you say that you're happy you made the move? Things are better?
Oh, yeah.
Is it yet financially better, or is it still not?
On the climb.
On the climb. But you're happy even if it's not.
Yeah.
So talk about that just briefly. Like, even though, because we all think the money is so important, but even if you make less money and are in your purpose, what would you say to that?
Yeah, I think for me, it all flipped because at that time, I was all about culture. Like, I got to get mine. You gonna get yours, but it's about the paper.
Yeah.
And Christ was in me, but admittedly, I had more culture in me at that time. Now it's flipped. It's more Christ, less culture. Like, I could still be down with the culture, still be cool or whatnot, but it doesn't control me. It doesn't, run my life. Like, it isn't the thing I'm chasing after now. Now that that's done, yeah, like, I don't have exactly what I had as far as finances, but I'm also married. And when you combine us, I'm winning. Yeah, I'm up.
We up.
We up. So it's that type of thing where, like, I have way more peace now than I did then. Like, I didn't have any peace.
That lifestyle was hectic.
Very hectic.
Yeah.
Very hectic. Like, the stuff you talk about with Vegas, that was me every day.
Yeah.
Every day, feeling like I gotta put on, and I have to, all my trust is in this person who I need them to spend whatever amount of dollar just so I can do whatever I want to do. Like, that's not my pace anymore, right? Like, my pace is much slower, but I'm getting to the goal faster because I truly trust him.
Wow, that's
and
a bar.
not me.
Say that again. Say it again.
Yeah,
It's much slower, but you're getting to the goal
faster.
My pace is much slower.
Pace is much slower.
But I'm getting to the goal.
Much faster.
Much faster. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, look, I hate we out of time. We got so much more we could discuss, but look, I think that the thing here is that we all know we have purpose. And sometimes you just need somebody else to see you, look at you, to help draw that out of you and help reaffirm what you already know is in you. But you just need somebody to tell you, hey, yeah, that is true. And that is what it is. And so it's amazing to have you, Dre. Thanks for doing what you're doing.
Dre, thank you so much,
in
man.
the
This
world.
is good.
Yeah, man, because I think it's super duper needed. And I like the path. I can't wait to talk to you further down the line because it's like this purpose and this peace and those things being priority now. It's like the profit is there. It's coming. The more and more of it. And the partnerships, your wife, your life, like having everything is so much more important than just having one thing.
Yep.
So that's dope.
Super dope.
I think that's all we got.
For sure. So tell the people how to find you if they want to,
Yeah, most def. You guys can hit me up at JimDre on all social media platforms. Also my website, JimDre.com. You can buy layup. Not this because this is custom. I know a lot of people ask me about this, so I'm not even gonna tell y'all. Even though we are coming back with, I think, the bomber jackets, maybe a little something different. But you can check Live at Your Own Pace at Layop Clothing and our website layop.com. LAYOP.
Nice.
Dope.
Nice.
Dope. Pleasure to have you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
Another
sure.
episodes of Wealthy Thoughts. Stay tapped in with like-minded people. We out. Peace. I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby.
Everything
about